The Eastern Front during World War II was a deadly conflict between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. Since the beginning of Nazi Germany, it has been a goal to seize prime land within the Soviet Union. On June 23, 1941, Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union less than 2 years after the peace pact was arranged. Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union with 207 divisions and supported by 650,000 troops from the Allies of Germany. This was otherwise known as Operation Barbarossa. As Germany advanced into the Soviet Union, one of Germany's security police followed after, the Einsatzgruppen. The Einsatzgruppen killed anyone who would pose a threat to Nazi Germany rule in the Soviet Union. This security force was mainly pushed towards Jewish males. This ended in a massive massacre of Jewish Soviet people. Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union. In July, the SS police and leaders supported the killing of Jews in the Soviet Union. The annihilation of the Soviet Jews helped to begin the final solution policy, or the physical abolishment of the European Jews. Even with the annihilation of the Jews in the Soviet Union, it failed to collapse. In late August, the Soviet Union resisted the Germans, causing them to knock off their time. Soon after, German army began to be worn out.
Battle of Leningrad was one of the third strategic goals in the German Operation Barbarossa. It was the main target of the Army Group North. Leningrad is in USSR, and it is a port city. They made military products, and this is why Germany wanted to seize Leningrad, because Germany wanted tanks from Leningrad. The siege lasted for 3 years, from September 8, 1941 to January 27, 1944. Leningrad and Volkhov fronts, along the 1st and 2nd Baltic fronts, took over the siege and battled it off. Battle of Stalingrad was another major battle of World War II. It was Nazi Germany versus the Soviet Union. It began by heavy bombing of the city by General Loberst. Stalin sent forces to the east bank of Volga, stopping supply to Germany's troops and having Germany to flee. The consequences was Germany's Sixth Army was destroyed, and it caused Hitler to lose the war. The main objective of this battle was to get oil from Caucasus. These two battles are important in our history today because if Germany would have got the oil from Caucasus and not have been stopped by the USSR troops, they most likely have won World War II.
The Battle of Berlin was the last major battle of World War II. On April 16, 1945, the USSR army forces attacked Berlin, Germany. The German defense was weak, and by the next day, with many losses, the Soviet army advanced through the city. By April 30th, 1945, the Soviet army reached the city center and conquered the Reichstag after furious fighting. That morning, Helmuth Widling, who was the last commander of Berlin's defense, went to Hitler in person and told him what was going on and that the city will be captured soon. Hitler gave Widling permission to try to break through the USSR army force. Before the war ended, however, Hitler committed suicide. On May 2, 1945, the city's defenders surrendered.
In 1945, Germany's military situation was on the verge of total collapse. Hitler had a total nervous collapse when he heard his orders for SS General Felix Steiner to move to the rescue of Berlin had not been obeyed. He launched a tirade against the treachery of his commanders and for the first time declared that the war had been lost. Hitler then announced that he would stay in Berlin and shoot himself. Later, he asked a physician the most reliable method of suicide. On April 29th, Hitler heard of Benito Mussolini's execution. On April 30th, Hitler had a meeting with General Helmuth Wiedling asking Hitler for permission for a breakout, which Hitler didn't agree to until later. Then, several witnesses heard a gunshot coming from Hitler's study, which he and his wife had went into. After a few minutes, Hitler's valet opened the study door and found their lifeless bodies on the sofa with blood pooling onto the carpet. The two bodies were carried upstairs, dused with petrol, and torched. Different versions of Hitler's fate were presented by the Soviet Union according to its political desires. The Soviets maintained Hitler was not dead, but had fled and was being shielded by former Western allies. But by May 11, 1945, the Soviets had already confirmed through Hitler's dentist and dental technician that the remains found were Hitler's.